What's going on, YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Night Terror's Superman issue number 2. This one, of course, is written by Joshua Williamson with art by Tom Riley. Yes, okay. So this one, Williamson, ties directly into the previous issue where Kara dream jumped from her dream into Superman's dream. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, where characters can kind of do that. One of the girls had the powers from it. I can't remember the character's name off the top of my head, but she was the lead character in Dream Warriors along with Nancy and all that. But so she jumps in here. They have to face off against the Sleepless Knights. Arthur and Mira, of course, show up here, given their Atlantean abilities. There is an explanation for why they didn't get hit by the Nightmare Wave, but it's kind of has to do with their physiology of living and adapting to the depths of the ocean and all that, the pressure and all that. So something to do with their hearing and all that, which is why they haven't been hit by the Nightmare Wave or whatever. But it is what it is. One of the Sleepless Knights comes in there. He's like this blood guy, and they do get into a bit of a fight there. And of course, there's also like links and tie-ins to the Marilyn Moonlight character that's been in the Williamson Superman run, which, by the way, if you want a good Superman book, like, read the Joshua Williamson Superman book. I'm enjoying that book quite a bit. I actually really like the annual. The Night Terror stuff just is like, I'd rather just kind of be reading the main Superman book, but I guess this is like a spin-off of that in a way, because it's still written by Williamson. But yeah, there's a few decent moments in here. Eventually they have to kind of overcome this. Eventually they get out of their situation. They get woken up, and Superman basically decides, hey, I'm going to go back to where this thing all started. I got to head to the Hall of Justice to take care of things. Arthur is there to kind of be like, hey, look, we got things taken care of. You don't have to share the burden on your own, Superman. We got you, buddy. Now go take care of business. So I liked it. It wrapped itself up nice and quickly. Superman's back and he's getting ready to show up in Night's End, and of course they tease like various Superman things. So the annual, which is already out, which I do recommend you check that thing out. I thought that book was probably my favorite DC book of last week. And then of course we have Superman 6 next month, which did have that interesting cliffhanger in Superman, I think 5, which where Lex Luthor was left like bleeding out. And so I'm excited to see where that gets explored from there. But all things considered, I thought this issue was okay. I mean, there's some decent looking artwork in here. There's some cool, creative, nightmarish looking visuals. I mean, Lois Lane fighting a newspaper like monster or whatever at the Daily Planet, I think that was kind of cool. Kara being able to dream jump, and it was an interesting explanation for how the Atlanteans were able to be immune to this whole Nightmare Wave. I think that added a new interesting layer, but it also kind of sounds like, hey, look, we kind of took care of things while you were asleep and saved a bunch of people, so you're good, Superman. You go take care of business at the Hall of Justice. Let's finish this thing. Let's put Insomnia down for good. So yeah, like I said, if you want more of the important details, I suppose, for these events, just read the stuff by Williamson. Is this my favorite of these spinoffs or little tie-ins for the week? I'd have to think about it, because there's nothing that quite wowed me this week in terms of the times. Maybe the Wonder Woman one, like at least the main story, I thought was a little bit stronger in some ways, but it's kind of tough to say, because I don't think this has been the strongest week per se for Night Terrors. We had Catwoman, we had Nightwing, we had Punchline, we had Superman, and then we had the Wonder Woman one. So none of them I think were quite amazing, if you will, but nothing was quite bad by any stretch of the means. So yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. But I guess if you want the more important stuff, I guess read this one. But honestly, in this one, I think you're kind of okay. But if you didn't necessarily read it. But yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, if it's written by Williamson since he's the headliner of this whole event, then I guess those are the ones to read, I suppose. So, but yeah, not my favorite, but not too bad, all things considered. So pretty good artwork overall, I suppose. So yeah, if you have any thoughts on this particular issue, let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all that other fun stuff. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. And then yeah, so look forward to that. All right, peace out.